A Supreme Court case originating in Metro Detroit could end up impacting LGBT rights all across the country. A local transgender woman says she was wrongfully fired from her job in Garden City for being transgender. Well, today the Supreme Court took up her case. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell is live in Garden City where she used to work. So Kim, what exactly is the Supreme Court deciding here?
You know, it was 6 years ago that Aimee Stephens worked at this funeral home on Ford Road in Garden City. Today, the Supreme Court is deciding, can your boss fire you because you are gay or transgender?
What do we want? Justice! When do we want? Now!
This was the scene today outside the United States Supreme Court as demonstrators showed support for a transgender woman from Metro Detroit. Aimee Stephens' case is being called one of the potentially most consequential before the Supreme Court this term.
The day is finally here.
Stephens spoke about why she sued. She says her boss at Harris Funeral Homes fired her after she let him know she was transitioning from life as a man to life as a woman and would be dressing accordingly.
Here I've put the time in, done my job and did it very well. And now all of a sudden they don't need me anymore.
Hers is one of several LGBTQ employment cases heard today. The justices heard arguments on whether a federal law that bans job discrimination on the basis of sex applies to both transgender and gay people. Attorneys for Stephens say that if she were a different sex, she would not have been fired for dressing as a woman. Attorneys for the funeral home say she was not fired because of her sex. She was fired for refusing to follow a dress code.
The funeral home had a sex-specific dress code that was applied to all employees equally. And we're dealing here with an employee who chose not to follow that dress code.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer sent Stephens a video of support on social media.
Just want to thank you for having the courage to fight for your rights and the rights of every single person in the LGBTQ plus community.
Stephens says she finally found happiness by living as the gender that feels true to her.
Don't let anybody else tell you what you should be or what you are.
So what happens now? Today, the Supreme Court heard arguments and is expected to issue a decision come spring or even summer. Live in Garden City, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
Thank you, Kim.